Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with some more Moon Girl magic because Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is back. 2 months to the day we have been missing this show. Well, I've been missing it at least. I don't know about all of you, but I've been missing it. Yeah, it's been 2 months to the day. It was July 12th that we ended up putting it on hold after the last episode, and now it is September 12th, so just fun little fact there. So Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, fantastic show. Really love the inclusivity, the character work. It's very episodic, but it definitely has some ongoing plot threads that keep things invested. And I'm very excited to see where it goes next, because we're basically halfway through the season. There's like 16 episodes. We did the first 8 before, and now we're going into episode 9 here. So we're basically starting the second half of the season. And I'm very excited for more of this, to see just more of these characters that I've grown to really enjoy so much, to see just so much of what this series can really achieve to be. Because I genuinely believe this show has the potential to be as good as shows like Ghost of Mount McGee, Amphibia, Owl House, and other shows like that in the current juggernaut of animated properties. It definitely has that vibe to it. And of course, again, the representation is fantastic. It's really great with that, just like these other shows nowadays tend to be. We have multiple queer characters already in this, and that's fantastic. And I'm sure there's going to be more. And I'm sure there's going to be more emphasis on that in the future, too. And let's just be honest. If you're not here for Casey, you're doing it wrong. Because Casey is best girl for sure. She is just fabulous. I just enjoy characters like this, I guess. Like, it's not like one of those characters from other shows where, like, they start off as a bad guy and become a good guy. It's just like, it's not that kind of trope, which I also do love, by the way. But it's more like just the vibrant personality. She has such a loud personality that she just owns every scene she's in. She just really captures your attention and holds it hostage in kind of the best way. Like, I like Lunella. I very much like Lunella. I like Devil. I like all these other characters we're getting. But Casey just... There's just something about her that is just so entertaining to watch. And she's my favorite. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm very excited to see what kind of misadventures we go on next in trying to protect New York. And just, go about these characters' everyday lives, trying to be, teenagers in a modern world. So yeah, we're getting to episode 9 today. I don't know anything going forward about this. Luckily, I don't really hear any spoilers for this series, and I don't have to do much to avoid that, so been doing good. Been doing really good on that regard. But one last thing to note before we begin. Season 1 is like 16 episodes long, but Season 2 is, from what I've heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it's going to be over 20 episodes long. And Season 2 is supposed to at least start, like, I think at the beginning of the year, is what I heard. So, Season 2 will be coming somewhat soon. It's not going to be too long of a wait. And it's supposed to have more episodes, which, again, if true, is really good, because this show definitely deserves it. And I'm just hoping for a lot more with some story aspects of things. Like, do more with the Beyonder or something, or introduce even some more bigger plot points as well. I don't know. I don't know much about the character from the comics, or also I don't know like what other kind of villains or whatnot you could bring in. But hey, go for it. It's a Marvel property. Just bring in some other Marvel characters. That could be fun. Have like a crossover with the Avengers. um, but we're gonna get started on this and hope for the best and see what this episode has in store for us. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, before anything, I want to mention, the song Just the Two of Us is originally by Grover Washington Jr., featuring Bill Withers, who was shown in the game they were playing. He was the one that was trying to be, that Lunella was trying to guess and everything. The song has been used in a number of various things. The one I was talking about in the reaction was Austin Powers. It was actually The Spy Who Shagged Me. It wasn't Goldmember. But it was specifically a parody of the Will Smith version of the song. So, little extra fun fact for you there. And this version, in this episode, was covered by Raphael Saadiq. I don't know who they are exactly, but their version was pretty good, and it was really surprising. I was looking in the credits afterwards, and Raphael Saadiq is the executive music producer of the show, and like helped write the theme song and everything. But this song is not mentioned in the credits. It only mentions 3 songs: the theme, "Feelin' Me," which is the song used in the credits, and "No Way I'm Feeling This," which was used during the episode. But Just the Two of Us is not mentioned at all, which is really interesting. Considering this is a big name song, well, cover of a big name song, I'm wondering why they didn't credit that at all. I mean, it was, again, Raphael Saadiq who did the cover, but they could have credited it for the actual writers and singers and everything who made the song popular, Grover Washington Jr. and Bill Withers. And again, Bill Withers was directly mentioned in the episode. So, it just feels weird for that to be not included. But let's talk about the rest of this episode. So, I mentioned the movie Click, which, if you don't know, is an Adam Sandler movie, which has a similar premise to this. If you don't know the movie, I'll just briefly go over here. In Click, Adam Sandler plays a character who gets a magic remote control, and it controls his universe, a universal remote, haha, funny joke. But he uses it to pause things, to slow things down, to rewind. But the big core of the story is that when he uses it to fast forward through things that he would be bored by, things that he would be annoyed to have to sit through, like Lunella in this episode. And he ends up skipping through important moments in his life, including his own father's death and everything. And while the movie has some very outdated and problematic things in it, because it's an Adam Sandler movie, let's be honest, the emotional core of the film is actually pretty good. And it really hammers in how bad of a decision trying to fast forward through life is. And I don't know if this episode was directly inspired by that or just similar concepts out there, but it's very similar because again, in this, Lunella is doing the same thing. She's trying to fast forward or skip through her life to get past the things she doesn't like. Hearing her father's corny stories, eating broccoli, doing chores, stuff that kids would want to skip through. I mentioned during the reaction that, yeah, she's using her super genius brain and everything, but for childish reasons, and I like that. But we see that because she also made this app extremely smart and have like this super advanced AI that keeps learning and keeps growing, it causes problems. Eventually, besides just the fact that she's skipping through everything herself, which causes her to miss out on jokes, miss out on information and everything, there's also the problem that comes into play that the app starts skipping things on its own. It kind of creates this auto feature, this auto skip feature where it just starts skipping things that she would naturally have skipped already. And the app becomes too smart to where it won't even let itself be deleted and stuff. And it's wild. It just kind of grows its own consciousness and everything. But Lunella the auto skip starts to skip her through important things as well, things she was really looking forward to, like the father-daughter roller skating event. And it's kind of made clear that when she does skip, her body is kind of like in this autopilot mode, which is also in Click. Her body is kind of in this autopilot mode where it's like, yeah, she's there, but she's not really there, if you know what I mean. She's her body functions and it continues through, but it's not really like it's basically doing the bare minimum to keep her moving through, so that when her consciousness catches up, it's fully there again. And this causes, again, a lot of problems. So she tries to get into the programming to stop it and ends up breaking apart the fabric of the universe. It's like, Jesus, girl. You are 13 years old. This is kind of insane. But she figures out that the way to fix it is to go back to a specific point in time, right before she would have made that app. And at that point, like, the app wouldn't have existed, so it wouldn't be able to take her back and all. Although it does kind of raise the question, because it started teleporting her through time and everything, and started teleporting to like kindergarten and stuff. It's like, okay, but how was she able to teleport out of that at that point? Cartoon logic, though, it's not that big a deal. But she teleports to the morning when like they're gonna do the family household cleaning thing. And so yeah, everything ends up working out, and she realizes that these little moments are what makes life worth living. And yeah, it's a great lesson, a great idea, delivered in a goofy, cartoony way. And I really enjoyed it. Like, I really did enjoy it. Casey wasn't as big in this episode. Like, she was there and she had some fun moments, but she was definitely just a side character in this one. But I can't expect her to be like major every single time. I understand that this is not her show, although a Casey spinoff would be pretty neat. But yeah, I really like this one, and using the classic Bill Withers song, was really cool because it's like it's a genuinely good song, and it's like, listen, I understand kids can be like critical of classic music and stuff, but it's like that's not even that old. Like when did that come out? Let me check here. I still have that Wikipedia page open. 1981. It's like that's not that bad. I like songs from like the 60s and shit. It's like the 80s isn't that bad. It was recorded in 1980, came out in 1981. That makes sense. But yeah, it's it's not a bad song. Like, yeah, it's not like the kind of music you listen to nowadays. It's definitely very different from like modern music, but it still sounds good. It's a good song. It's I don't know. Like, I'm a millennial, and I was born in 1992, but I like a lot of older music. My favorite band is Queen, and Freddie Mercury like died like just a few months before I was born. So it's like the other members of Queen are still going, yes, but Queen is a band from well before my time, clearly. I love the Beatles, they're from the 60s. It's like music being old is not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't make the music bad or unlistenable to current generations. And I've known other people who are younger than me who like older music too. It's like, I get the joke they're going for, I get the idea, but it's just like, come on, it's a good song. If you're gonna choose like an oldie to like to joke around with that, it's like at least like, choose something like, how would I put it? Something that's not a famous, popular, boppy song. Choose something that like sounds older. Something that sounds less enthusiastic for today's music list. I don't know. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm bad at explaining stuff, but you know what I mean. It's like this song is too catchy and everything to be used for that kind of thing. It's got too much personality and character and just great instrumentals to be used for something that's supposed to be lame and boring. It's just, it makes no sense to me to use a song that good for that. And I know that sounds maybe a little rude to like other musicians and stuff, but it's like I guess it's all subjective. But it's like I don't know. I like the song, okay? Let me like Bill Withers' music. Um. Anywho, yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I like the message. I like the idea, and it also had some good, cute moments with Lunella and her father and everything. Getting to see some bonding and whatnot come out of it. I like that. So tell me what you thought down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.